So, it's important that you know how the mind works. Mind and ego, I use the terms interchangeably. Ramesh once asked me, you know what the difference between a yogi and a bogi is? A yogi being a yogi, a spiritual practicer, and a bogi being just an ordinary person. He said, in a bogi, a thought arises and it's pursued. In a yogi, that same exact thought arises, but it's not pursued. Now, the pursuit of thought causes a lot of problems. So, you may have a thought, let's say about the politics these days, and then the mind pursues it and goes, oh my God, well, if that happens, then what about this? And this means the end of that. And this is scary, and I don't like it, and blah, 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 blah. And it goes on, and you're feeling anxious. And you're feeling like maybe it was a mistake to listen to the news today. The mistake was pursuing the thought. You see? So the thought arises, and there's no need to pursue it. You just see it for what it is, and then it passes. But when a thought arises and it's pursued, then you have anxiety. And then you have all different kinds of feelings. All the feelings that you don't want to have. But the thing is, you see, the pursuit of thought also can bring you some pleasure. You can pursue the thought about someone you love and feel all full of love inside and go, oh, yes, and then that, you see? And that works until you break up, and then you pursue those thoughts and you feel like shit. So, this is how it works. Pursuit of thought breeds more thoughts, breeds more feelings, and that gets you into the whole game of your life, of the ego's pursuit of you and what you're doing and how you're doing it. If you're doing it well, if you're doing it poorly, if it's a mystery, if you're uncomfortable, or if you're having pleasure with it, enjoying it, and thinking it's great. And you see, people don't mind giving up the thoughts that make them anxious, that make them feel guilty, that make them feel ashamed, but they don't want to give up pursuing the thoughts that make them feel good. You see? But if you just allow thoughts to come and go, kind of just like as you would in meditation, you see? People sit for an hour, and the thought arises, usually, and it's just not pursued, and it just come and go in a natural flow. Thoughts come and they go. So, this is a way to live a life that is peaceful. It doesn't mean that you don't have any feelings. Thoughts arise, and they may bring up a feeling, but it doesn't get compounded by you making more thoughts around it. And pretty soon you have a whole village of thoughts, and it becomes overpowering. And then you ride the emotions of those thoughts. Now, there can be a payoff in a pleasurable feeling, and there can be a payoff in uncomfortable feelings. But either way, it's pursuit of nonsense. It's pursuit of a thought. What is a thought anyway? And what, Ramesh had a very good way of distinguishing the thoughts, because there are certain thoughts that you do need to pursue. Like if you need to be at work at 9, there's a bunch of thoughts about what you have to do to get ready. That's okay. Ramesh called it the working mind. But the vast majority of the thoughts you have in your head are more of the thinking mind, you see? And they don't do anything to further your day, you see? They just create a fantasy world that you live in, where you have all these different feelings and all these different ideas. It is non-productive in getting you through your day. And people enjoy living their life this way. I mean, my wife sits there, does the dishes. I see her, she's talking to herself all the time, and she's doing this, she's doing that. It's like, and she's having whole conversations. No one's there. Okay? So, this is a way that people function out of habit in their lives, but it does not bring them peace, and quite the opposite. Okay? So even if you have certain pleasures in this pursuit of thought, it's not peaceful. It's just pleasurable for the moment. It'll turn on you. It'll turn on you, because if you take the roller coaster ride one way, going up, well, you're going to take it going down too. So watch how the mind works. Watch how it functions. And then you can see, oh, that's pursuit of thought. Is that what I want to be doing? And you can, if you become in the habit of watching the mind and watching how you pursue your thoughts, it'll just drop off. It drops off when it's seen. When it's not seen, and you're just blindly taking the ride that the mind is giving you, and going up and going down and going up and going down, if that's the kind of life you want to live, fine. But it's more peaceful to simply allow the mind to rest. By that, I mean a thought arises, and that's it. No one goes after it. So you can practice this in your daily life. And you can also just observe how it works in your life as thoughts are pursued. I'm proposing that your life would be more peaceful if you didn't do so much pursuing of thought. Be more like a yogi than a bogey. So that's today's homework assignment, and I hope it helps as always. Sagranath Maharaj ki jai.